is here today. More information flowing on technology's highway.
Tonight on the NTV Evening News, an about-face by the government on the GST-RST. It will have a new look. And as well this evening, second-hand smoke. The newborn and the unborn will have that story, and one last try for the Newfoundland dockyard workers. They want a new owner for the closed facility.
The NTV Evening News Hour with Lynn Burry, Fred Hutton, and Tony Marie Wiseman.
Good evening, everyone. Tony Marie Wiseman is on assignment this evening. In the weather forecast, well, cloud and flurries for most areas of the province. We'll have all the details a little later in the Skyscan weather forecast.
Also in tonight's newscast, a bizarre story from Toronto about a man from that city who drove his dead father from California back to Toronto. As well, a dramatic day of testimony at the Somalia inquiry. We'll have a full report. Details on these and other stories coming up in the next 60 minutes. But first, tonight's top story. And our news this evening begins with the government's harmonization of the GST and the PST. After much debate and a lot of confusion, the government has decided in the 11th hour to change its plans with respect to implementation.
In order to get the legislation through the Senate, the federal government changed its mind on tax-inclusive pricing. That, according to some business people in this province, is good news. The new harmonized tax takes effect on April 1st. A broader base, but a lower rate. The price tags on items you purchase were to be tax-inclusive. The price on the tag would be the price you pay at the register, a move that some people liked and others didn't.
That's what I voted Liberal for.
Why do you want it?
Because when I see something $10, I don't want it to cost $11.40 or $12.40, whatever it is.
I'd sooner see it on the price or on the cash register when it rings up.
I guess he has to do something, I suppose, eh?
Well, now the federal government has given in to one demand of the Conservative senators. The tax will not be included. Consumers can easily identify the cost of the item and the amount of the tax. Dave Green is the chairman of the Downtown Development Corporation.
I think it's finally a bit of common sense about it right now. There was obviously, with a short time frame left before it was being implemented, it was a bit absurd to have all this ebb and flow and debate going on. I think common sense has prevailed.
So you're happy with the decision now that the tax will not be included in the price?
Well, I think ultimately it may end up being that way, but I think that the state the government was in when they went ahead with this, it was a bit ludicrous to expect the retailers to affect this change right away.
Martin Lockyer is with the St. John's Board of Trade. He says tax-inclusive pricing would have cost businesses money. He's glad that it has been changed, for now at least, but the whole experience, he says, has been very confusing for everyone.
There has been a technical paper out, but of course the legislation hasn't passed yet, so no one, including I guess the people in the taxation department, are able to say what the final thing is going to be. We're obviously getting closer to where it's going to all pan out, and hopefully then we'll have a very quick response by government to get information out to businesses.
The RCMP in central Newfoundland have issued a warning to the general public about the illegal sale of a morphine-based narcotic, hydromorphone. Police say it's being sold at the street level and can be very harmful unless taken while under a doctor's care. The drug can come in several forms, different colored pills, perhaps a liquid. Police say the drug is extremely addictive. Late this afternoon, traffic was tied up at the intersection of Kingsbridge Road and Empire Avenue for a brief period. One person, an elderly woman, was taken to hospital for observations. Her injuries are not believed to be of a life-threatening nature. Damage to both vehicles was minimal. At this time, a police investigation into the mishap is continuing.
Senior abuse is a concern across Canada. Today in St. John's, numerous organizations and citizens attended a conference dealing with what is a very real and apparently underreported problem. NTV's Larry J. was there.
The St. John's Seniors Resource Center sponsored the conference held at the Salvation Army's Temple in St. John's. The center says seniors locally, provincially, and nationally have identified abuse as one major concern facing them, which needs to be given priority. Mary Somerton is the coordinator of the Elder Abuse Awareness Project, which concentrates on 4 areas of abuse.
That would be financial. We have emotional abuse. It's also called psychological abuse. We have physical abuse of seniors, as well as neglect of senior citizens. As his main
She says one of the problems they encounter is the difficulty that some seniors have in speaking out against their abusers.
When you look at the fact that many of abusers are caregivers, could be family members, or people in a position of trust with the senior, it's very difficult for people to come forward and to talk about abuse. We also have...
Correct care for seniors was one focus of today's conference. Nursing students from St. Clair's paid particular attention to that important aspect of their careers.
Next semester we're doing a geriatric rotation as part of our course outline, and we felt that this workshop today would be very beneficial as it's on elder abuse.
Mary Somerton says one possibility advanced today is legislation to ensure the protection of the elderly and ensuring their rights are not violated under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Larry J., NTV News.
And in economic news today, after some recent gains, markets in North America closed down today. Here's a look at our market figures in tonight's business report. Well, please stay with us. Still ahead in tonight's newscast, we'll speak with the Vice President of the Home and School Association about the effects cutbacks are having on this province's school system.
And up next on the NTV Evening News Hour, the very real dangers of secondhand cigarette smoke. A new campaign launched, hoping to get the attention of new moms.
In 1922, we opened our first Canadian Tire store, and you were there. In 27, we expanded our inventory and saw you more often. By 1940, our catalog reached over 2 million of you. In 61, you found it helpful when we introduced Canadian Tire Money. And now, as we celebrate our 75th year, it occurs to us, without you, we'd be history. 75 years of Canadian Tire, thanks to you.
I'll have the chili.
Chili? You should know better.
And I'll have the fries.
Fries? You should know better.
And now I'll have Tums Ultra.
Tums Ultra goes to work in seconds, neutralizing stomach acid to help relieve heartburn and indigestion fast. And it helps maintain strong bones because it gives you calcium.
Something your body uses anyway. You'll like that.
I'll have the chili. I know. I should know.
You could instantly win up to $5,000 with Tums. See specially marked packs where you shop.
Eye-catching.
Shorty's Optical, for the latest in designer frames.
Great look.
Shorty's Optical. Buy one pair for $129, get a second pair free. Or receive $129 towards any second pair in the store.
Gorgeous.
Shorty's Optical. Designer frames from Esprit, Guess, Giorgio Beverly Hills, Rims, and more. Shorty's Optical.
Eye-catching.
Like most Newfoundlanders, Budgels are great travelers, new age nomads. So when New Telecommunications asked me if I could use 25% off every long-distance call I dialed, anytime, anywhere, I said, 25%? I'll take that off my bill. Why, that's 25% more time to talk to Mrs. Budgel in Florida. Or not.
Call now to enroll in the new Real Plus Extra Savings Plan.
Hello? Oh, hon, I was just about to call you.
Not too long ago, Saturn came about offering something different to folks, in a car and in a company. And people responded. It might have been tempting to put our feet up, but you can't go anywhere if you do that. So we worked on a new idea. It's time to introduce the newest member of our Saturn family. It's not a minivan, but it could be. And it's not something new from our factory in Spring Hill, but it will be treated as if it were. It has 2 doors, 4 doors, a hatch, and a sunroof. It will be scrutinized and loved and equipped with a strong warranty to let you know we're always just around the corner. And it will still come with a no-haggle price. You might not think that it looks like a Saturn, but you'll agree that it feels like one. It is the new used car.
The very real dangers of secondhand smoke were made clear today here in St. John's. Community Health for the St. John's region announced a new anti-smoking campaign targeted at young families that have or are expecting children. Secondhand cigarette smoke can cause significant health problems among young and unborn children. With more on that story this evening, here's NTV's Peter Raymond.
Coordinator with the Babies Coming, Babies Home project.
Community Health and the Newfoundland and Labrador Lung Association launched an anti-smoking video today that is aimed at new mothers and their families. Babies Coming, Babies Home explains the dangers that environmental tobacco smoke, or EST, pose to unborn and young children.
Women who smoke while they're pregnant are more likely to have a miscarriage, to have a baby born too soon, or to have a stillborn baby. The good news is if you stop smoking now, you have a better chance of having a healthy baby.
The video tracks a fictitious couple as they try to quit smoking and eliminate secondhand smoke from their home in order to protect their young child and the child that they are expecting.
I can't say that it was easy for us. It got pretty wild. We'd both be dying for a smoke, and we lost our tempers a few times. Although Jim started smoking again, he really wants to quit.
The video will be used by several agencies, including the Lung Association and community health nurses. The producers of the video feel their message will reach more people by using an audio-visual medium.
Majority of the material that is available right now addresses a certain literacy level and is written material and pamphlet material. And right now we're in the age of technology and people seem to respond to video type material. So we decided to put our information in the form of a short educational video that could be used by the general public and also used by family physicians in pharmacies, by the public health nurses.
Secondhand tobacco smoke contains a mix of more than 4,000 chemicals, 50 of which are known to cause cancer. Secondhand smoke has many negative effects on young children, including doubling the chances of death due to sudden infant death syndrome.
It's a major problem. Effectively, what you're doing, you're very compromising the quality of life of a child, and you could severely affect them forever in terms of allergy and asthma and these types of things. So it is a real problem.
Approximately 37% of Canadian women of childbearing age smoke. Maternal smoking is the most preventable risk factor related to low birth weight. The producers of the video are planning to make it available to young families throughout the province. This is Peter Raymond for NTV News.
It is now just a few days before City Council in St. John's will hear a recommendation from its Civic Centre Committee on which of 3 bids to accept for a new Civic Centre. It will be at the next regular meeting of St. John City Council that the recommendation from the Civic Centre Committee will be made. 2 of the proposals are for land on Barters Hill, between City Hall and the Delta Hotel. The 3rd proposal, the so-called Ship Arena, is for the old Horwood lumber property. All 3 proposals called for an arena that would seat 6,000 people, or 8,000 for concert events. One of the issues that has been raised in recent days is parking. A 6,000-seat stadium requires about 2,000 parking places. The City of St. John's has identified parking for about 1,900 cars in the downtown area. Those spots are located at City Hall, Atlantic Place, the George Street parking lot, and metered street parking. Despite the fact the requirements of the arena would use all available downtown parking, a spokesperson for the city says parking should not be a major issue. Council's next meeting is scheduled for Monday.
Once again, it is election time at Memorial University. Students have been casting ballots for the past 2 days in order to elect 33 new members of the Council of the Students' Union. The CSU represents 15,000 full and part-time students at Memorial. According to CSU officials, voter turnout has been good and could surpass last year's totals. Glenn Beck and Keith Clark are the two candidates running for the top job of CSU president. Polls are opened until 9 p.m. tonight, and the new council of the Students' Union will be named at around 11:30 this evening.
The former workers of the St. John's dockyard haven't given up their fight to get work at the facility. The workers are not satisfied with the number of jobs that will be created at the yard when it's reopened by its new owners. The union that represented the workers at the dockyard before it closed says it wants to represent workers at the yard when it reopens. That is despite the union's apparent lack of so-called successor rights at the facility. Bury Shipyards, the new owners of the dockyard, will be hiring, according to the union, only 30 or 40 workers initially. That, according to Alan Locke, is simply not enough. He says it isn't even enough to warrant keeping the dockyard open. He and other union leaders say negotiations on the sale should now be stopped, and other companies should be asked to submit bids.
The heating bill down that yard is $700,000 a year. How are you going to pay $700,000 a year heat, and you only got 40 workers in the yard? Plus, put all the other infrastructure in place. It's just not going to happen. And like I said, look, boys, here's the file. Look, that's only a quarter of the file, and that's not our numbers. That's Coopers and Lyburn. That's a business plan that was presented to the Bank of Montreal, to the government of Canada, and everybody else. And them numbers say, look, you want to make a go at that yard, you got to start off with about 125 workers, a peak workforce, 350, 400 workers, for revenue of about $40 million a year. Not 40 or 50. That would be the worst thing possible that could happen that yard. 40 workers is a shame. Mr. Wells is the former premier.
Meanwhile, Cal Jones says the union should be involved in any and all negotiations on the dockyard's future, because it is the union that has all the information and statistics on the yard's work at its disposal.
Basically, what the unions feel is that we've got a real concern here from the information that we're getting, and that is the approach from Clyde Wells saying that the new yard will employ 15, 20 people. Well, in fact, our position is that that's not acceptable. It's totally not acceptable, and we feel that the negotiations taking place right now for the Bury takeover should cease, and that the tender be led again, and for other companies to put bids in and start negotiations and involve the unions in those negotiations.
And Tony Marie Wiseman is on assignment again this evening, so Lynn is going to take over the weather duties this evening. And a little bit of good news, I guess the temperatures are warming up a bit.
Yeah, we've noticed that over the past couple of days, the temperatures, they're still minus whatever, but it's better than minus 10, minus 11, and getting into the double digits. But it was a nice day again today in the capital city of St. John's. We're going to get right into the details now in our Skyscan weather forecast.
The Skyscan weather is brought to you by UAP Auto Parts, with stores throughout Newfoundland.
And now on our radar screen, well, not a whole lot of precipitation to report. You can see some there by the Avalon Peninsula, and up around Goose Bay, you can see some activity as well. Now, Goose Bay is going to get some snow over the next little while. Some flurry activity for most other areas of the province. It's going to be a little heavier, though, in the Goose Bay area. Now, in our satellite picture, a slow-moving low-pressure center over the Labrador Sea will bring a few flurries to the island on Thursday and Friday, and as I just mentioned, we're going to see more snow in Labrador over the next few days. Now, the forecast in detail. And we begin this evening with St. John's. For tonight, cloudy periods, a low of -8. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy, a few flurries, a high temperature of -3. For the Avalon Peninsula, the East Coast, the South Coast, the West Coast, and Central. For tonight, cloudy periods, the low -8 to -12. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy, a few flurries, getting up to -3. For the Northern Peninsula tonight, mainly cloudy with scattered flurries. Scattered flowers, I don't think so, not yet. The low temperature -8 to -12. For tomorrow, mainly cloudy, a few flurries, and the high will be -5 on the Northern Peninsula. Now for Goose Bay, snow and blowing snow tonight. Strong northwesterly winds The low temperature will be -9. For tomorrow, here's where we're going to see the snow. Heavy snowfall warning has been issued for Goose Bay. Snow and blowing snow anywhere from 15 to 20 centimeters. Winds will be strong and they will be from the northwest. The high in Goose Bay, -3. For Churchill Falls, light snow tonight. The low temperature, -15. Snow and blowing snow for tomorrow. Strong northwesterly winds getting up to -6 in Churchill Falls tomorrow. For Nain to Hopedale, Postville to Cartwright, north of Grosswater Bay for tonight, snow and blowing snow, so the winds are going to be high there as well. The low, -6 for tomorrow. A heavy snowfall warning has been issued. Snow and blowing snow continuing up to 30 centimeters. Strong northerly winds, the high will be 0. For Postville to Cartwright, Grosswater Bay and South Bateau to Lanse-Claire. For tonight, snow and blowing snow, a low of -9. Tonight, or tomorrow rather, snow 10 to 15 centimeters mixed with rain. Winds will be strong from the northeast. The high will be +2. For Labrador City, snow and blowing snow tonight. The low temperature -20. Tomorrow, snow and blowing snow. Accumulations up to about 5 centimeters, so not a whole lot for Lab City. The high temperature will be -12. Now the extended forecast for St. John's, the Avalon. Cloudy on Friday. Flurries on Saturday, getting up to +2 for St. John's in the Avalon. Rain on Sunday, a high of +3. The extended forecast for the remainder of the island, cloudy on Friday, and it will be -3, getting up to +2 for Saturday, but there will be some wet snow on Saturday. Flurry activities on Sunday, and it will get up to about